And if you're not doing anything to benefit yourself on the job, then you are wasting your life. All right, so how long do you think you will talk about the same traumas? I guess it depends on whenever the situation arises, you know what I mean? But it's brought to my attention recently by a friend of mine that, and you know what I mean? It was crazy that the sentence was made out of spite. It was said in spite, but the way the universe works is messages come to you in any type of way. When you understand that everything is your teacher, you will be able to turn off your ego and be able to listen to what is being said, because commonly people are telling the truth when they're pissed off at you. You know what I'm saying? As far as like how they really feel. So with that being said, I didn't realize, I think it came to me in that moment that I think it's the safety, the familiarity and possibly some like playing victim that will keep you almost uttering the same shit. There's nothing wrong with telling the story. It's like, but where are you going to go from it? You know what I mean? And I think that's what this question kind of is centering around, excuse me. And how long will I continue to talk about the same traumas? I guess until I deal with the shit. You take the same test until you pass it. But the way I look at it, depending on what question comes up or whatever the topic is, that story is going to come up. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some things where story is being said, like a story is being told, and yeah, it's a broken record on a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But there are lessons in that, and sometimes it takes taking that lesson more than once before you actually get it. And what I can honestly say in that moment, when I sat with it for a little bit, I got it. You know what I mean? I got the message that was there, that the universe was trying to tell me. Is pretty much just waiting for you to move. Everything that you have in your life is going to stay the same until you decide to change it, until you decide to move. And once you move, the universe will then get out of your way and go towards the things that you actually want to do. But you have to be able to look fear in the eye and be like, fuck you, and go ahead and pursue whatever it is that you're trying to pursue. Because a lot of times fear will hold us back, like this anticipation of what might happen, this idea of what we think is going to happen versus what actually is going to happen. For instance, recently I just celebrated my goddaughter's birthday, right? Happy birthday, Aria. And we went to, as a family, we went ice skating, right? And when we went ice skating, initially, I've never ice skated in my life, ever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, growing up in Virginia, I'm sure we do have ice skating, but I'll be honest, for me and for my family, and I don't know, we never just talked about ice skating, you know what I'm saying? My rollerblade, my roller skate, or nothing like that, but never ice skating. So, I had never done it before. So that fear right before getting on the ice was sitting inside me. And, it's like, don't do it, because, the pain, fear likes to protect you from pain or anticipating, feeling pain and shit like that. But I got my black ass some skates. First, I had 12s. I I realized that I can't wear 12s at no fucking skating ring. It's too much fucking room. It was Ronald McDonald shoes. Like, it was just too much fucking room inside the skate. And you know what I'm saying, my knee or whatever, I was not able to take with so much pressure. So I ended up changing and getting a size 11. But I was, you know, it was time. It was time like to step on the ice. And let me tell you, as soon as I stepped on that ice, damn near fell. But I had to do the mime, the Spider-Man on the wall, you know what I'm saying? Like, to try to gain the like balance and all that stuff. It was just fear, you know, just sitting on the wall, and you got these little young Thundercats speeding past me, doing tricks and shit. And but it was fascinating to watch them, like, just being so free, and like the confidence that they had. And you know, like the first time around, you know, you look like you do the little tiptoe by the window moves and shit. And it was you know, it was scary, but I forgot that I knew how to skate. You know what I'm saying? I've been working, you know, sometimes you get caught up working so long that you know how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes fear can get you so caught up within your mind that you know how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's so what ends up happening, I was listening to a friend of mine, and she was like, you gotta bend your knees to maintain your balance, your equilibrium and shit. And I was like, well, shit, I know that. So, you know, I pretty much bend the knees. Got, you know, once I did that, it was like riding a bike, like ice skating. To think before I got on there, I was just like in fear of this situation. But that's what I'm talking about, conquering and facing fears head on. You realize that the only thing you had to fear was fear itself. And that was a lesson for me in that moment, to just get out there on the ice. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not as young as I used to be as far as skating and shit like that, but it was still fun. I felt like a kid, and it was just carefree, right? But to think, if I let that fear sit in and I never set foot on that ice, I would never have felt that feeling. You know what I mean? And that's just a testimony on the thing of fear. And I feel like that's the same way I have to attack other things in life. You know what I'm saying? That I tend to find you know, these fears or whatnot. And it's just the fear that gets us. The fear makes us trip out. The, you know, things that we dealt with before when we were younger, but, you know, we're not little kids anymore. But, you know, strangely enough, those emotions, our body remembers what we did at that age. So, you know, it's still holding on to that fear. But, you know, pretty much you got this shit. That's what I took from it. You know what I'm saying? Anything you put your mind to, you can do. And don't worry about letting anybody down. That's their expectation of you. What about your expectations? You know what I'm saying? Your expectations of yourself is the only thing that fucking matters as far as like what you want to do. And that's why I try to live by the creed of no expectations, no entitlement, no ego. You know what I mean? It just makes everything run a lot smoother. When you have this concept, this image of me in your mind, I'm going to let you down sometimes, because it may not be the same image of me that I have in my head. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa and shit like that. So it's like learning to just take things as it is, or more fati, you know what I'm saying? Accept life as it comes. You're like, do that, you know, as much as possible. But, you know what I'm saying? Like but telling you know, these stories, I believe that, you know, I don't believe there's anything wrong per se with like sharing, you know, these stories. And sometimes the same ones will tend to come up. It all depends on the point that's being made. The issue is when you're telling the same story, but you're doing nothing about it. And I know we know people, like sometimes, the best example is like, you know, friends that we have, friends and family we have in relationships that we hear talk about arguing about the same shit, and how they can't stand it. They, you know, they hate it, but they're not doing anything to change the situation. You know what I'm saying? They're they have fear of something to make a change that will alter what is current reality. So practically living in illusion, if you will. But if we face the fears, we might realize that there was nothing to fear at all. Similar to the getting on the ice. So that's what we got to do in life, I believe. I think we really do have to learn to gather up that, that courage and get on the fucking ice. Whatever your ice is, if it's starting your business, if it's going back to school, if it's, wanting to cut your hair, if it's, even taking a chance on a relationship, when you're ready, goddammit. All right, when you're ready. Not when somebody else is ready, but when you goddamn ready. If it means learning how to cook, if it means, trying to mend a relationship with a family member, whatever it is, get your ass on the ice. And I think that's what we got to do. So, telling these stories, how long do I think I'll be telling them? Until the job is motherfucking finished. Do you believe that all is fair in love and war? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I do. Honestly, because it's pretty much my perception versus everybody else's perception of shit. We get caught up in a lot of things where people live by a certain culture. You know what I'm saying? And then you have this perception, okay, this is what love is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel bad, like sometimes we'll come down on the woman that took this woman's man or took this woman's husband and shit like that. Let's be real. It's a lot of motherfuckers in relationships with individuals that they're not happy with, and they won't leave because of their image, their ego. They don't want people to look down upon them. Listen here, if what we gotta learn to do is to speak truth, our truth, and not what, someone else wants us to say, if you will. We're not living an authentic life if we're just saying shit to appease another person. I don't care if you're in a relationship. I don't care if you're married, whatever it is. You have to live an authentic life. As far as like, if you feel that you're in something that you don't want to be in. And I will say that I had to learn that the hard way. I spent 4 years with an individual I had no intentions on ever being in a relationship with. Which sounds crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? It sounds like, but people pleasing at a younger age bred me for that situation. It's not to say that we didn't enjoy each other's like time and stuff, but you know that feeling where it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? But good guy, nice guy. I don't want to break her heart. You know what I'm saying? I've gone too far. I've got in too deep, so I just gotta stay with it. And I'm sure there's some men and women, people, let's just say that. Let's just say people that have put themselves in a position where they felt like they couldn't get out of it. Otherwise, people are gonna look down upon them. So worrying about how they fucking look. Who gives a fuck about how you look in that sense? People's opinion. People are gonna have opinions whether you stay with the motherfucker or if you leave that motherfucker. So you might as well do what you fucking want to do as far as like living your life. You only get one motherfucking life, yo, as far as I know. We'll see what happens after we leave this motherfucker. But the fact that you only have one life, you should live it the way that you want to. Now, talking about love, I've talked about love. Let me touch on war a little bit. Yeah, when it comes to war, yeah, there's no honor with shit like that. Whatever it takes to win, whatever it motherfucking takes to win. Prime example, the Miami Heat. God damn it, fucking the three-headed monster, LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. People feel some type of way about them playing. They were able to make a deal. They didn't do it illegally. So is it moral? Is it morally right to put that many stars and that level of talent on one team? Maybe we should just manage our teams just a little bit better. However, even me, like, I know I'm talking about like this whole situation where it's like all fair and love and war. And by that I mean strategy and shit, whether it's sports, war, you get what I'm saying. I just feel like teams need to manage their team. They need to manage their shit better. But also feel that it fucked up the course of the NBA. Like it really did. It really did fuck up the course of the NBA, and it allowed teams to do that pile up stuff, and the NBA is just off balance as far as like teams go, and it set an example for the players coming up that I want to jump around. You know what I'm saying? I want to create my own team. I want to be on a team, and then we just pile drive other weak ass teams that's poorly managed. You know, as far as that goes, but I think that all's fair in love and war. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could look at, like, our country. Was our country one fair? No, it wasn't. None of one fucking fair. You know what I'm saying? We had to fight for shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit was stolen. Native Americans, let's not even get into it. You know what I'm saying? As far as what the, the Europeans did to the fucking Native Americans when they came over here, fucking Thanksgiving and all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know the ins and outs, full story, but the gist of it, they took over and then they forced Native Americans onto, reservations and shit. Was it fair to use the backs of slaves and, you know what I'm saying, and Asians and all that stuff to build America forcefully? You know what I'm saying? I don't think, then again, I have to fact check the whole thing about Asians, but damn sure blacks did not, choose to get on the boat and come over here and work and be beaten the fuck up through slavery. But I digress. But I mean, you don't get America without it. Like, no matter what the fuck happens, you can't take away, the bad parts. You shouldn't erase history. Now that's where that's another thing I got an issue with. I'll touch back on this shit where we have situations where we erase history and we don't want to show this bad shit of how we got what we got. No. Own your shit. If you did fucked up shit to black people, if you did fucked up shit to Native Americans, if you did fucked up shit even to some white people, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Latinos, show that shit. We don't get today without the past. Show how we got today so people can really understand the true nature of the story. And was it fair? It wasn't fair, but it still got the country that we have today that we know and love. I don't know if I would want to live anywhere else. Like, all right, I've been thinking about moving out of the damn country and going to like a, like a beach like Bora Bora or the Maldives, however you pronounce it, nigga. And just, that'd be life, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just a goal for me, to one day sit on the beach and just read fucking books. But anyway, back to the concept of being fair with love. So with love, there ain't no fucking rules, yo. Honestly, it's not, man. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one way to get to the finish line. I mean, there's a lot of people's stories of love that you can talk about. And they've made it in certain ways, but I just still feel, I stand by the stance that we just love differently, as in men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, men love on an idealistic thing, and then, from the beginning of time, women have loved on opportunistic things. You know what I'm saying? So, until men learn to grasp that, understand female nature, the same shit's going to continue to happen for us. And it's like, once you have this information, you can play this game a little bit better, with a better strategy, and you don't allow yourself to get a certain place mentally, emotionally, without having that information there initially. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's where my head is with all that stuff. So I mean, I'm appreciative and grateful to have that information. At least for now. I mean, I have a concept that, learning new knowledge. So until something else changes and shows me something different, this is what I know. And when that information presents itself, then I'll have a different, perspective on that. But yeah, all fair. You know what I'm saying? I do believe it's all fair, love, and war. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Some people are cutthroat, some people are not. But if you didn't, you know what I'm saying? We have a judicial system, we have cops and shit because some people don't play by the rules. Some people decide to do things outside of the norm of what what the rules are. And, you have a forum in there to keep from having so much chaos. I mean, you're still going to have chaos, but imagine if there were no fucking rules, guidelines, or anything. We'd be living in anarchy. We'd be living in chaos. But there are those people who are rule breakers, you know what I'm saying? And there you have those people that are rule followers. And when it comes to love, the rule followers are the ones that end up getting the short end of the stick, especially from the man's side, And that's not to say that women don't do that either, but it tends to feel like, I don't know how many conversations I've had with people, and they're like, man, I wish I was as fucked up. So, because it seems like they get they win in the end. It's just that they have the courage to go after what they want, regardless of what is being said. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people play it safe. You know what I'm saying? And like the people that play it safe don't have the greatest memories of life. It's the rule breakers. It's the ones that take risks. They are the ones that's like, you know what? Damn, man, we could have died, but we made it. You know what I'm saying? Damn, we really could have got caught, but we didn't. Like the people that are willing to break the fucking rules. And not live by their own way of life, and not what society has put before them. Because then it goes down to shaming. If you go against these rules, we're going to shame you for what you've done. But I'm gonna get my love the way that I get it. Some people make it that way. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely know that, of course, the coming up in a Christian-based society, monotheism it can be a reason for that. But at the same time, everybody has their own walk with God. And if you do believe in it, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own walk with God. I truly believe that. I truly believe that we all have our own walk with God. So it's not one person that's going to set the fucking tone for everybody else, because we got all these damn religions. Are you telling me that all these religions are wrong because everybody doesn't all have the same rules to go by? Some things are different, you know what I'm saying? But by perspective, we can decide what is right and we can decide what is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I live by the idea that like for God lives within you. You know what I'm saying? We were made in God's image. However you see fit. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe there's any perfect person whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? We can strive for it. Sure, we can strive for it. That's helpful, but are we doing it for ego? Or are we doing it for progress? Is the question. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to make the biggest difference. Because if you're going for perfection and then you make a mistake, then you won't want to try anymore because you no longer can be perfect. But if you're going to just learn from it and go forward, like just trying to better yourself as a person, it's all about the progress. You feel me? But yeah, I don't know. I get sidetracked all the time with this shit. I love it. But yeah, all fair. It's all fair in love and war. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you live by your own rules. You decide how you want to live. And for those who want to, especially like as a man, for those that want to, for those women that, a woman that wants to enter that frame, they understand, they will understand. You know what I'm saying? For those that don't, that's fine. Yeah, because there's more than enough people to go around. There's more than enough ways to live in life, but you have to choose the life that you want to live, not what somebody else wants to do for you. And so, yeah, I hope that answers the question. I think I covered mostly what I wanted to say about this whole concept of, it's all fair in love and war. So yeah. So basically what I'm saying is when it comes to like love, as far as there no rules. You pretty much can do, you do love doesn't have to look like this. You know what I'm saying? You decide what your love is going to be for yourself. But number one, make sure you love yourself before you try to love anybody else. And as for war, you see our society, shit, we do what the fuck we want to do. Shit ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? Lives being taken, it's not right. But yeah, it's all, taking over countries. No one's just going to give their country away. You're going to have to revolt. You're going to have to riot. You're going to have to invade and all these other things that we see have gone on from the history of this country. And in other countries, history of the world. So, do I believe that all is fair in love and war? I do. A wasted life. I'll give a wasted life for me. A wasted life would be for me to not use the gifts that has been bestowed upon my life, like God, universe, the Easter Bunny, whatever you believe in. I've been bestowed with knowledge that can help heal myself, pretty much anybody else that identifies with what is being said. And this information has come to me from individuals that I've encountered, listened to, and seen in life, and being able to piece it together to where individuals can learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Look at things from a different perspective. A wasted life is coming home from work and burying yourself in a couch just to watch Netflix and go back to the job and not do anything on the job to better yourself. Jim Rohn, I love, quoting Jim Rohn. It's like, when you're on the job, what type of person are you becoming? You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what they can do for you. Focus on what type of person you're becoming. You know what I mean? Like, when you're at work and everybody has a job, you can make money from just about anything. You know what I'm saying? It's just about how are you going to use it to benefit yourself? So, wasted life, sitting at a job for so many years and just not doing anything for you. And this company is going to get whatever they want out of you. That's what you working is doing, wanting you to work overtime. Meanwhile, you're missing family outings and shit like that. What are you going to do for yourself? What exactly are you doing at your job that is going to benefit you? Not the fucking company, but you. Mentally, physically, spiritually, all these things. Financially, of course. But what exactly are you doing? And if you're not doing anything to benefit yourself on the job, then you are wasting your life, because somebody's taking shit from you. Military, like, let's say, for us that join the military, they get their commitment. They're going to get their 4 years, 2 years, 6 years, whatever you signed up for. They're going to get that shit. But here comes the GI Bill. Here comes these VA loans and the ability to go back to school and all these opportunities, filing claims and all this shit. But you're not going to do it because of fear, and you've never been taught it before and all this other shit. These things are for you. That is what you get out of it, the benefits. You feel me? So, like, learning to see when you're a part of something, especially a job is an exchange of services for money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to offer my service to this company and you're going to pay me for it. But not only are you going to pay me for it, we also have benefits that we can give to you, opportunities that we can give to you. And it's all about what type of person are you going to become on this job. Same with, even with our friends, doing nothing. Sitting around and we're not doing anything. We live in a hamster wheel. You know what I'm saying? We see the same shit every day. Every Friday, we go into the same, night spot. And we're not working on anything outside of going to the night spot. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing. I'm not saying anything that's wrong with going to a night spot every Friday. But what I'm saying is that if we're not during the week, we're not working on ourselves, what are we celebrating? You know what I'm saying? I think it was a T.I. post back in 2014. It was like, people go to the club every Friday. What is you celebrating? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's a great question to ask yourself. and not to take it personal, not to let your ego get, feel some type of way about it. But ask yourself, like, what the fuck are we here celebrating? Or are we just running from our problems? Are we escaping from pain? Are we running from pain while I'm sitting here in this club just trying to go out all the time? Like, that shit ain't going nowhere. The same night spots, the only thing that changes the music and maybe the fashion, and we see that shit come back around. It's the same stage, different actors and actresses is what we'll see throughout the times. But so if that stays the same, and I'm being with the conformity, the 95% of the world that do this shit, how am I ever going to change? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be in the same category. I'm going to be in the 95% versus the 5% who are doing something to change the outcome of their life. A lot of us weren't born into families with a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that we get in a routine and we'll stay doing the same shit. But whenever an individual tries to better themselves or bring, wealth and fortune to their family, they've definitely trained us black folks to tear each other down anytime we try to do something outside of the routine. And it sucks. That shit fucking sucks. When an individual is just really trying to better themselves, not just for themselves, but for their fucking family. Because when they build up, that is a representation that is possible for the family. So for some families that that feel some type of way when certain folks are on the come up. No. There's more than enough life. There's more than enough opportunities for you too. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to bet on yourself like nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody else can. Bet on your motherfucking self, no matter what it is. Bet on yourself. Like anything is motherfucking possible as soon as you think of it. You know what I'm saying? Like our thoughts and our words are so fucking powerful. So if I can say that, man, I'm never going to make it, I'm never going to make it. But if I keep telling myself that I'm going to make it doing this shit, whether it's to YouTube, whether it's starting a business, whether it's, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, going to the military, doing 20 years, and somebody say, man, you ain't gonna ever make it to the military. That's their limitations they're trying to force on you, man. Fuck them. That ain't got shit to do with you. Like, continuously push yourself to the motherfucking limit. Don't let anyone hold you back on some real shit. Like, encourage people. Because they ain't got nothing to do with your life. That's their life. You know what I'm saying? So if a motherfucker come up to you, it's like, man, I'm thinking about starting an ice cream truck business. Okay, go ahead, do it. Ain't got shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got my own life to live, but ain't nothing wrong with encouraging people. Okay, well, I want to become, a higher position in a school system. I want to be, a higher position in the hospital, in the medical field. Ain't nobody stopping you but you. That's it. Even if that person has something to say that's discouraging, you don't need their validation. Nobody needs no one's validation to do anything. You know what I'm saying? People gonna jump on board later. They're gonna laugh at you at first. They're gonna try to tear you down. And then eventually they're gonna wanna know how the fuck you did it. Real shit. That's it. That's life. It's fear. Fear causes individuals to tear you down so that they can feel on the same plateau. It makes them feel good about themselves, man. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? They're just scared individuals. Keep pushing yourself. But don't waste your life. And that's how it took me a while to understand that for myself. I was sitting worried about what people would think about me if I came out and did a fucking podcast. If I came out and I did a YouTube. If I came out and did whatever I decided to do just on a whim. Looking for validation. For some shit I didn't even fucking need. But I was trained to look for validation just by, style of raising. But when you recognize that, you're grown, you can do pretty much whatever the fuck you want to do. It's America. For the most part. You know what I'm saying? Granted, us black folk, we can't do certain shit, but you get what I mean as far as like opportunities presenting itself. You can create your own opportunity. Thankfully for the internet, and shit like that. Don't get me wrong. You're going to face people who are afraid of your power, but you do not let that stop you from keep pushing. You know, you can spend 20 years doing shit you hate. Take a risk. You know, you can take a risk. All right. You can spend 20 years on a job that's safe and then they let you go at a moment's notice. Or you can take a risk doing something that you love and actually you learn that it doesn't work out. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that mindset that you can have. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what others think of you. Push forward. Do what you have to do, you know, to make it. So, you know, what is a wasted life? A wasted life is not pursuing, you know, all that is possible with the tools that you have within yourself. And I'm saying that everybody watching, you know what I'm saying, recognize your power. For real. Don't think about anybody else, you know what I'm saying? Worry about the fuck you. Focus on you. You'll help all your relationships that you have by bettering yourself and working on yourself. I promise you. Sitting there worried about like what some girl doing, you know what I'm saying? Worrying about what some boy doing, what they doing. Work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and eventually that glow is just magnetic and it will attract, you know, individuals that are on the same mindset as yourself. So keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Better yourself. Try to better yourself daily. Remember to be a kid. I had to learn that, you know what I'm saying, with the ice skating thing. It's all right, you know, to sit back and just have fun. You know, don't take life so seriously. So continue to push yourself. And fuck living a wasted life.